Thank you, Clive, and I'd like to move the amendments tabled in the name of Paul Davis, which seek to build upon the original motion. As such, let me begin by outlining our support for the motion put forward by Plaid Cymru. The local government settlement published on the 24th of November is yet another textbook example of Welsh Labour doing the bare minimum and expecting councils to somehow perform miracles. It's stretched, it's unrealistic, and it's totally disconnected from the daily realities local authorities face. Cabinet secretaries may try to dress it up as challenging but fair, but no amount of spin can disguise the fact that councils will yet again be left struggling to protect even the most basic services. When the Welsh Local Government Association warns that this settlement will mean dramatic council tax rises and thousands of job losses, the government should take notice that this is not a polite suggestion. It is a damning indictment. These warnings come from every corner of Wales, across every political colour of council, united in saying the same thing. This settlement is nowhere near enough. Yet this tired government ultimately believes in its own falsehoods, pretending everything is fine whilst public services collapse all around them. The motion rightly highlights the growing crisis in rural areas. Rural councils have faced higher delivery costs and chronic underfunding for years, and this settlement pushes them closer to the edge. I fear it risks stripping away core services from communities that already feel ignored, and rural Wales are the ones who will be forced to pay the highest price for a Labour government unwilling to face reality. There needs to be more protection for frontline services, and action to stop council tax bills spiralling out of control is needed. Residents are not cash machines for government failures, and councils should not be forced into impossible choices because Welsh Labour has once again failed to deliver a sustainable settlement. The Welsh Labour government must stop pushing the burden downward. Clywed, I had hoped that the government would take responsibility for this mess, but let's be honest, that's not what socialists do. They can only blame other people, and when the money runs out, they can only say it's not their fault. And Clywed, we have heard all these excuses time and time before. The Welsh Conservatives say enough is enough. Wales needs a government that funds local services properly instead of leaving councils to pick up the pieces. The consequences of a settlement will be felt for years to come, with weaker services, job losses, and households yet again, and let me finish, having to deal with paying more for less. The Labour Party can spin, deflect, or deny all they want, but the reality is clearly written in the WLGA's dire warning and in the budgets of every council across Wales.
I'm not here to defend the Labour government, but do you think the UK government under Conservative rule fairly funded English councils, and if so, why did Birmingham go bust?
Well, I think with that you'll need to ask Birmingham Council, really. I think the Conservative government played with the cards that they were dealt with the previous administration, if I'm honest. And I know we've always said that, but that's what I honestly believe. Right, carrying on, Clywed. I am pleased to advocate for the Welsh Conservatives' amendments because they speak directly to the frustrations felt by councils and communities after years of mismanagement, stagnation, and a lack of accountability in Welsh local government finance. For far too long, the Welsh Government has resisted meaningful reform of a system everyone knows is outdated and unfair. These amendments put forward practical, common-sense measures that should have been actioned years ago. An independent review is not just desirable, it's long overdue. Councils across Wales have long argued that the current settlement does not reflect realities on the ground. The government's promise to keep the formula under review has become a code for kicking it into the long grass and doing as little as possible. An external review would give bite in helping to break that cycle and deliver the fairness and transparency that the local authorities deserve. I've spoken numerous times in this chamber about how residents across Wales are struggling with rising council tax bills. Yet the government continues to push responsibility on the councils while rejecting serious efforts to ease this burden. This amendment rightly encourages councils to use reserves responsibly to protect taxpayers. Instead of systematically and callously picking residents' pockets, it calls for smarter financial management and genuine collaboration. It cannot be understated how right it is that council tax rises over 5% should have residents' agreement. This amendment introduces democratic accountability, something that the Welsh Government has clearly been reluctant to embrace over the years. The Council wants to hike taxes by 5% or more. Residents should have a direct say. This is not radical. It is a basic respect for people and the funding of local government. England has operated under this expectation for years, yet Wales has been left with a system where families are hit with ever-rising bills, while this Labour government looks the other way. And Claire, I'm conscious of the time, so I'll just finish that these additional amendments to the motion offer a coherent, credible alternative to current drift. They put taxpayers first, strengthen accountability, and demand transparency that has been missing for too long. They challenge the Welsh Government to raise its game on local government finance and to stop expecting councils and residents to pay for their failure to act. I therefore urge members here to support our amendments that add strength and accountability to the original motion. Thank you.